PDAC 2024, second day, and we now move directly into the energy metal space, I would call it. With me is here Warren Stanyer, the CEO of ALX Resources. Warren, how are you today?
I'm good, Tim. Thank you so much for causing this interview.
Thanks for taking the time. How's the show so far? It looks quite busy here.
It's very busy. I see a lot of familiar faces. This is about my 15th or something since I started coming here in the 2000s. So, yeah, it's really good. A lot of excitement. You know, we've had these times of high interest rates, which has hurt our markets to some degree, but the demand for metals, that's where the disconnect is right now. And once that demand and investors meet, then things are really going to move, I believe.
Good. So ALX Resources, you are very active in Canada, also a little bit in Norway, so in Scandinavia, I guess, in both uranium and battery metals. So could you give us a little insight in your company and also in the most important projects?
So ALX Resources I call it an energy metals company because uranium is an energy metal, nickel is an energy metal, copper is an energy metal. Yeah. We do have a couple of gold properties as well, but we're kind of leaving that to the gold explorers. One in the Gibbson Gold Project is optioned to First Mining Gold Corporation in Ontario. But regardless, uranium was our first love, let's put it that way. Yeah. And it was a fairly small club of people based in Saskatoon, Cameco, Orano. There was a German company at one time, Uranerz Energy. We called it Uranerz in our Canadian way. Yeah. Cameco and Orano bought all of those assets. So they were all kind of divvied up in the late 90s and into the 2000s. When I first got into uranium, there was hardly anybody doing it in the late 90s. But thanks to the vision and guidance of Benjamin Ainsworth, who was the founder of what this company is today, one of our projects, for example, at the Hook Carter project, and also Patterson Lake, we were born of discovery because that was a project that Ben Ainsworth believed in, and with a 50-50 partnership with Fission Uranium, we found a deposit, the real thing, the big kahuna.
Yeah, okay.
So that was back in 2012. Yep. We then were bought out by our partner. So we became Alpha Exploration. And in 2015, we merged with Lakeland Resources to form ALX.
Okay. So very active in uranium in the Athabasca Basin.
Yes.
Let's dive a little bit more into the projects.
So right now, we're waiting for a snowstorm to subside so that our people can get up to Stony Rapids. Let me just show you on the map here. So that's the Gibbons Creek Project, right where that is. We also have a 40% interest in this project, Black Lake, with Uranium Energy Corp. But we're drilling right here, right now, as soon as they can get there when the road is cleared up a bit. Safety first.
Safety first, as always. Okay, and then also something in the southeastern part?
Yeah, so the Hook Carter project is an 80% Denison project, and we are 20%.
Okay.
It's on trend with RRR, with Arrow, NextGen's project, other occurrences like Spitfire, that Cameco, Orano, PurePoint joint venture. They found uranium. So we're right on trend with that. There hasn't been any work, no drilling since 2019 on that project. So we're looking forward to restarting exploration with Denison.
Okay, big partner. Much drilling?
There hasn't been a lot of drilling. I mean, they spent nearly $7 million, or about $7 million, since the joint venture began, or their purchase of 80%. We are carried to $12 million. So at this point, we don't have to put out money, but we do want to get exploration restarted. So it's time to take a good look at that.
So uranium is the one side. The other side are the energy metals or battery metals. I can see lithium in the James Bay region, very famous region in Quebec for lithium and other energy metals. What's going on there with the company?
So one of our directors, Jody DeRouge, he was one of the early explorers for lithium in that district in the James Bay region. There's lots of pegmatites, which is a rock that usually comes to surface. If it has the lithium minerals in it, you can see that pretty clearly, from prospecting. So we decided take a chance on that area and stake some ground. And a year ago, of course, it was very hot and exciting because the lithium price had crested at $80,000 per metric ton of LCE, lithium carbonate equivalent. We watched in dismay as the price dropped throughout 2023, but it's just starting to come back up now. On Friday, we saw the first real appreciation in price that we've seen in months. So I'm also seeing articles today talking about the demand. It's going to quadruple in the next 8 to 10 years. So I think that we're positioned, that we find the right pegmatite, and we've got some great targets coming up for this summer.
Okay. So where would you say is at the moment the main focus on? More on the uranium side or more on the battery metals, lithium space?
I would say on the uranium side, in that we have a project where we can drive to. We're drilling very close to the town where people can stay. If there's anything that's convenient in mining exploration, that's what Gibbons Creek is. So I have high hopes for this drilling. It's 6 holes, about 1,200 meters. It's fairly shallow in that area, so you're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per hole.
Yeah. Okay. What is the overall company strategy? So is it more prospect generating, or is it more trying to do joint ventures with partners? You mentioned already Denison is a partner. So what's the strategy?
I think we are a hybrid in that we find projects, but we're not averse to optioning them to other parties. There's so much demand right now, especially from Australia. So we've just signed a deal for Gibbons Creek with an Australian company. We've dealt with another and that's Trinex Minerals, they're called. Yeah. There's other Australian companies that we dealt with, and I don't have a problem with sharing the risk. And that's really uranium exploration. It's high risk and it's expensive. And all the years that I've been in this business, Cameco and Orano have constantly worked together, and one will have a majority over the other. Yep. So this is a common thing to do. It's nothing different from the way things have been for decades.
Okay. So you already mentioned some plans for drilling this year. So what are the concrete plans for the next, let's say, 12 to 15 months?
Just developing properties, getting targets. Geophysics is how we develop targets in the Athabasca Basin, and geochemistry. So you spend a few $100,000 doing that, and then you spend $1 million on drilling per project. So that's basically, we have to find the money to do that for various projects.
That brings me to my next question. Drilling means money. So what's cash in the bank at the moment?
Somewhere north of $1 million. We have money coming in from various things, shares. We have working capital. That's the cash. I mean, the working capital is higher than that because of the shares that we own from doing deals with other companies. So somewhere around 1.5, 1.6. Our CFO is not here right now, so
okay.
He could chime in.
Okay. So you already told me a little bit about the lithium sector. What's your current opinion about the uranium space at the moment? So we saw $100 in spot price in between. So what would you say, what's going on in next year?
Where can it go? I think what we're seeing now is some profit taking, that the people that bought uranium at $25, $30, these funds, why wouldn't they sell it at 100 and capture a profit? I don't know when they publish their holdings, but dollars to donuts, they've sold some in the last month.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Warren, thank you very much. Sounds interesting to me, the ALX Resources plans for this year. And yeah,
the best thing is we're drilling, and then let's see the results. So all the best for this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you, Tim, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Warren Stanyer, CEO of ALX Resources. Yeah, you heard it, uranium is hot. Energy metals or battery metals will become hot again, and I believe ALX Resources is even hotter. So check out the company, and bye-bye from Toronto.